Hello, YouTube beauties. This is Michelle again. I wanted to do a tutorial on how I did my 4th of July look the other day. Kind of go through some of the steps of how I did the brows and the fireworks and everything. This is me bare face right now. My face has got some major breakout, unfortunately, but for the power of makeup, you wouldn't know. So it's good. So I'm going to start with how I did my brows, and we'll have some fun. So get ready, set, and fireworks. Alrighty, so this is e.l.f. I believe it's like a gel liner. It's in the color teal. That's what I'm going to put on my eyebrows here in just a second. As soon as I find my brush. That's my double-ended brush right there. The nice thing about this gel stuff is it goes on really smooth. You can kind of pick how heavy you want to put it on. The biggest reason for this is just for the purpose of being able to put the eyeshadows on over the top. So it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just kind of like a setting kind of product. And then I'll leave that lighter color in the front too, so it gives it more of an ombre here, which you'll see. And I'll probably just show you the one eyebrow so you're not sitting here forever watching me do my eyebrows. Which it already feels like you're sitting there forever watching me do my eyebrows. So there's that one. Okay, so here's the part. This is my 3502 Second Nature palette. And it's the metallic red. I'm just going to start right in the middle of the brow. And I'm going to work that, sorry, itchy ear. We're going to work that all the way out to the end of the brow, into the tail. And you can make it as dark as you want. You can even experiment with different colors if you want to. This is just what I had. And it seemed kind of, you know, festive, I guess, with the metallic red. Now this is my 35B palette, and it is the metallic blue that's in there. And I'm going to blend that in just a little bit into the red, and then not quite to the, completely to the front of the brow. Just to blend those two colors together. And I'll just put it just a little bit at the bottom of the front of the brow, so that it kind of gives a little bit of depth there. And we're just still blending and packing on color. And then you can use your spoolie to kind of brush out the hairs where you want them. This is my Hard Candy Glamouflage Concealer. This is what I always use underneath to cut the brow. And doesn't take very much, which is really nice. This is just a flat brush from Morphe, and I'm just going to kind of set where exactly how I want the brow to look and cut out the shape. And honestly, I think this is the part that takes me the longest, because I especially when you're trying to make both brows look the same, but it works. And you can kind of push the product up a little bit if you need to. You can go back in and add more product if you need to as well. And then I just pull that concealer downwards too a little bit, so when I go to put the other concealer on, it blends even easier. And right now I'm looking all over for my Wet n Wild concealer. There it is. This is what I'm going to use to cut the top of the brow. Just a little dab. And I find it's easier to use that little hand mirror when I'm trying to cut the top, because I kind of rest my hand on it so I get a straighter line. And then you just pull that concealer upwards too, so when you put your foundation on, you can blend that in easier that way. I'm going to grab some more so we can finish the tail. And I never work too hard on this one until I get the other one done, so then that way I can make them both match a little bit better. if I spend too much time on this one and then the other one, it's even harder to make the other one match. So there is that. All right, and like that, we've got both brows done. I went ahead and put my Wet n Wild Photo Focus concealer on both lids, patted in really good with some of my Coty Airspun powder. You can see that, to set the concealer. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to do some primer and some foundation so that we can, I'll show you the tape trick that I used on my eyes to make fancy 4th of July eyes. So let's get into that. All right, this is my e.l.f. Blemish Control primer, and I put that all over my face. Just really smush it in there. I have the funniest faces when I watch these. I'm like, oh girl, what are you doing? And we get it up there on the forehead a little bit. And then of course, the next step is going to be with my Beauty Blender, and I have already wet that. It is like the best thing ever. This is my Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation in the color Buff Bisque. And I always put the most on like my cheeks and my chin and everything. And then I use a lot less on my head. So, and you just really just pound it in your skin. Makes it look more like your skin instead of just a bunch of makeup. And I blend it all over on my nose and under my eyes just a little bit and down my neck. Looking hilarious. And then there's just a little bit that goes on the forehead. And then I try to make sure to blend that, like I was telling you, into the concealer on the above part of my brow. And then down each side and then into the hairline. I think that's the biggest thing, is getting it blended into your hairline. I'm telling you. And then I'll go in with a little bit more of that concealer in between my brows and stuff here in just a minute, which you'll see. So that is the foundation. Ah, there we go. See, now for concealer, it's the same Wet n Wild in color Ivory. So this kind of highlights your face as well. And it helps to hide some of the other little imperfections on my chin too, and especially on my head where I've got like frown lines going on. So make sure you blend that in as much as you possibly can. I put a little bit up there too for the same purpose of highlighting. And then it also blends between the brows there. It always helps to pull funny faces, you know. So I'm just going to really, really smash that in up there and blend it into the foundation. Trying not to get it into my eyebrows. Alright, so this is my Moda brush, and it's the perfect size to get right in between those brows. So that's what I'll use to blend that. And then I'll keep blending right over the top of my brow a little bit. And then when I put some on my nose, it'll blend there too. See, there it is. And then doing the nose will also help to blend it when you put it under your eyes too. So you will see that when we get to that part. And there you go. Okay, so we have concealed our chin to highlight there, nose, and then up through here to blend in the brows. Once we get our loose powder on, it'll fix that a little bit too. So I'm going to show you the tape trick to give a nice sharp line and to kind of help extend it out here, just a little bit on both sides. I'll show you on one eye, and then I'll show you what both eyes look like done. So let's get into that. Alright, so this is just your standard Scotch tape, basically. It's the cheapy, which seems to work pretty good for me. It doesn't really stick to the skin too bad where I already have foundation on. And I did not put powder on yet for the purpose of I can still blend in foundation and concealer and then powder after the tape comes off. Excuse me. So once you get those, you know, as much as the same on each side as you can, I'm going to go in with that bright red from my 3502 Second Nature palette. This is just a really big fluffy brush. And I just start right along the edge of the tape and just keep building up on that color until I have it as bright as I want. And then right up in the crease of the eye. And then I just kind of lightly drag that over. Leaving the darkest part out on the outside and then lightest towards the inner part of the eye. So again, we're just adding more and more of that red. Now I'm going to go in with this. It's more of an orange red, just to help deepen that fake line, the faux liner. I just have a little bit of a stiffer brush to do that so that I still have that blended out part. And we're just going to keep deepening that red color. And you guys, that palette has so many pretty colors in it. So there's that. And then we're going to go in with a little bit, it's like a sparkly pink out of the 35B palette. And I'm going to use that to blend in the inner part of the eye a little bit more. We'll go back in with a little bit more red. This is, again, 35B. It's a metallic blue color. And I'm going to cut my crease with the Wet n Wild, first of all. And once we have that cut, I'm just going to press on a bunch of that really pretty blue metallic. It's the same blue I put in my brows. There we go. See, we're just going to pat that on just in the center of the eye, or the eyelid, I guess I should say. And it's such a bright, vibrant, pigmented blue, you guys. Then we're going to take a little bit more of that red and blend the blue and the red together a little bit, so we don't have a harsh line on the outside part there. Now this, if I remember correctly, yep, Jaclyn Hill, that is the color in light. And I'm going to put that on the inner corner part of the lid and blend that with a little bit of the blue, so we get a nice seamless blend there. And I'm just still working in that red a little bit too, so there's no harsh line. And now I'm going to go in with a little bit of this cranberry color from the Jaclyn Hill. Again, just to keep deepening that liner type look. And then it's also going to help blend in that blue there too a little bit more. All the colors, you guys, all the color. And then I'm just going back in and blending a little bit more, just so there's not any weird harsh line there as well. And I just kind of keep pushing that line out a little bit more, so it's nice and sharp and dramatic. And then we're going to bring that down on that lower lash line where the tape was, so it's a nice straight line there. Random eyebrow hairs just going nuts. This is just kind of a stiff bristle brush from Wet n Wild, and that is also in light. This is where I'm going to highlight the brow bone, right underneath the brow. And then I will blend those together a little bit too with my fluffy brush. Here it is. Just blending, blending, blending. And then of course I have to keep messing around with everything. I'm actually adding in some more color there, I think. And there's one eye. Okay, so both eyes are not completely done, but that is the shadow on both eyes. So we're going to put a little concealer that'll kind of help straighten this out down here, kind of brighten it up a little bit underneath the eyes. And then we'll fill in under the eyes with these same colors, the blue and the white, to kind of make a match. And then we'll show you how I do some of the glitter on the brows and some of the extra little decorations that I put on there. And then I'll show you how we glue on gems and do the fireworks and all that jazz. So let's get into that. Hang on just a second. Alright, so that again is my Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer. And I'm just going to try and pack some of that on as close to the shadow line as possible. I'll use my Beauty Blender to kind of get it up closer. And we're just going to blend that downward a little bit and up into the inner corner of the eye a little. Right up along that shadow line like I was talking about. And then you kind of use that Beauty Blender to straighten up that line down there too. Making sure you really set it in the skin. And then I'm going to grab my Coty Airspun. It's just a little fluffy brush of mine. You can use any brush you'd like, just to kind of lightly set that under the eye so it doesn't crease on you. And there's that. Okay, so we have concealed under both eyes. Helps brighten that up a little bit, and you can clean up those lines, make them a little straighter. Not perfect. My first go was a little better, but so the next thing I'm going to show you is you have to powder the whole face, and then I will show you how I did the flag on this side. I might have thrown my little star decals away, but that's okay. They were just stickers that I used, but let's get into that and I'll show you. So hang on just 1 minute. Alright, this is my e.l.f. complexion brush. Just a big, giant, fluffy brush. I'm dipping that into my Coty Airspun with just a light coat of powder, just to set the rest of that foundation before we put any other powders on my face. Making sure we get it up on the forehead, the cheeks, the chin, the neck, all of that jazz. It makes the other powders and stuff that you put on go on a lot smoother. This right here, I'm just putting on a little extra as a highlight over the top of my brows and on my forehead. And then I have to kind of brush that powder out of my brows and dust all that off. We're going to grab our Jaclyn Hill palette again and go into the it's kind of a highlighter color. I forget the name of it. Oh my goodness. I think it's in light. I'm just putting on a line of that bright white highlighter right there. Then we're going to go back into our Morphe 35B, and it's more of a matte blue. And I just have a flat angled brush, and I'm just going to use that cardboard and make another line. And then we're going to go into that orangey red color with the same flat brush and my piece of cardboard, make another line. And I'm just going to darken it up in the back and leave the front a little lighter. And I'll just use that little brush to kind of fill in where there's weird white gaps. And we're going to make one more blue line, and I'm going to follow that contour cheekbone line for this one. Like that. And then again, just with a little bit more of the blue, help fill it in up closer to the red. I've got it all over my ear, you guys. Darken up that top blue just a little bit. Itchy nose. Blah. And I'm going to make like a darker contour line down at the bottom there. And then, yes, we're going to grab our Infallible Paints by L'Oreal for the blush. I went with a kind of a brighter pink just to help blend in with the reds and the blues for the blush on the front there. And then we're going to put a little bit of that Coty Airspun to help cut that flag out a little bit. It's still baking, It's still baking down there. I'm just going to let that sit for a while. Let it do its thing. So that's that part. Okay, so I did not have my little star stickers, but it's really easy. You would just stick your stickers on first before you put your shadow on, and then you peel your sticker off. Guys, my nose itches. And then you would just take your stickers off, and it leaves you with white. So I'm probably just going to put gems here instead to make stars. That's probably what I'll show you. So I'm going to go in and let me show you how you do the glitter on your brows. Because you do the glitter first, and then you'll go in and put gems on your brows, and then I'll show you kind of how we figure out what we're going to do with the fireworks on this side. But I got to contour my cheeks, so let me get into all of that and show you how that works. But this is what we ended up with for our stripes, even though the flag is technically red and white. But artistic license, right? Artistic license. So let's get into the rest of this. Alright, this is a Revlon double-ended like a eyeshadow and glitter. And I'm just going to use the glitter on the front of the brow here, and I just really pack the glitter on as much as I want. It's just kind of personal preference how much you want it to be sparkly and glittery and crazy. And I'm just putting it on the front of the brow. But you want to bring it over a little bit, kind of almost to the middle, because you're going to put some gems there if you want them. Or you can just leave them sparkly, it's up to you. And we're going to do the other side. You can kind of see the glitter. It's a lot more prominent in real life. But that is the glitter. And then, let's see what we're doing. We're going to contour the cheek here real fast with some darker brown. That is my Profusion contour palette. I love that palette so much. And we're going to hit each side of the forehead as well. And I'm looking all over for my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I also love this stuff. It smells so good. This just helps blend in that contour that you put on. It gives a little bit more of a shine and shimmer. So that's that part. And then again, we're going to just blush with a little bit lighter blush on this side, because we're going to have all that firework business going on. And then I use that big complexion brush just to blend it out a little bit. I'm going to highlight the top part there of the cheekbone. And up on top there as well. And I'm just going to go ahead and highlight the flag part of my cheek. Gives it more of a high point there. And then we're going to just blend that in a little bit as well. Now for the firework, this is a gel lip liner. Just kidding, hang on just a sec. So I made this mistake the last time I did it. It's actually easier if you do your eyelashes and stuff before you start getting all the gems and stuff going on. So let me do a quick run through how to do that, and I still need to finish under my eyes real quick. So let me show you how to fill in under the eyes, and then I'll show you lashes, and then we'll get into the fireworks. Okay, so here we go. So we're dipping back into our 35B with the metallic blue, right in the middle there of the lower lash line. Grab the other eye over there, and I'm just blending it into the red a little bit. Then we're going to go back into our Jaclyn Hill palette, if I could get it. Back into that shimmery bright white, and we're going to blend the blue into the corner of the eye. And then I'm going to go back into that cranberry red to help blend in the blue and the red together. Back with our little tiny Moda brush, I'm going to go in with that highlighting bright white into each corner of the eye. Makes your eye appear a little bit bigger that way. And just blending it, adding it where it needs to be, a little bit more pizzazz, you know. Now we're going to curl those lashes. This helps the fake lash to blend in with your real lash a little bit better too. So you just want to curl the crap out of those. We're going to go in on the waterline with the black eyeliner on the lower waterline. We're going to grab our falsies, and this is the Kiss brush on glue. So far it seems to work better than any other ones I've tried as far as like the duo glue. And I just put on a light layer of glue. Make sure it's pretty much even all the way from end to end. And then, oh yeah, I kind of bend these a little bit so it fits the shape of my eye better when I go to stick them on. I wait a little while before I go to stick them on. Makes the glue more tacky. I'll glue the inner corner first and then tack on the outer corner. And then just keep working them until they are all stuck on there all the way across. And this can sometimes take a minute. You just have to be patient. Making sure that they're all stuck. There's one eye. Okay, so that is both eyelashes on, and I'm going to show you, you just put a light layer of mascara on your natural lash to kind of blend those in. So let me show you here. Like that. And then for me, you have to be super careful. If you have eyelashes that are going all screwy, you just kind of push them where you want them with a little tiny safety pin. I'm not gonna lie, I have stabbed myself in the eye before. Not a fun feeling. So let me grab this other eye. My natural lashes grow all over the place. Like that one that's being all weird. That just helps to blend in that lash line right there. And then you want to snag your bottom lashes. This is the e.l.f. lash lengthening, which I really like, especially for my bottom lashes. And I try not to get too heavy on the bottom. There's one. Let me grab this other eye. Oh shit, look at that. Guys, that's the worst. Yay for that. Okay, well, don't do that.
Right.
Just ignore that part.
Yeah.
Just pretend like it doesn't exist, right, Michael?
Yep.
So that's your eyes. So let me show you. Let me grab my gems. And we'll show you how to do some fireworks. Minus that black spot right there. Ah! Alright, so we're going to put on some more gems here. They're just some clear white gems. That is duo glue. Just put on a little bit of glue and then the gems will normally stick right on. The cool thing about this too is that it will dry clear. Even though it looks white right now, the glue, you won't see it after it dries. So if you get a little bit too much glue, it's all good. I'm just licking my finger a little bit so those gems will stick to my finger. And we're just going to throw on some more of the gems. Sometimes I'll even use my tweezers to pick up the gems if I need to. Sometimes it's a pain in the butt, but you do what you gotta do. And I have a few different kinds of shapes and stuff that I'll put on there just to give it some extra character, and I'll put on a few more here. And then this is the gems for the brow. I just put on a considerable amount of glue there on the front of my brow. And these are still just clear, sparkly gems. I'll put one there in the front and then one more just behind that one. See, and then I'll drop them. You guys, just grab another one. Just grab another one. There we go. Let me hit up the other side here. I'll grab a couple more gems. Jeez. This is what takes so long, you guys, is dropping half of them, you know? Alright, so there is the two brows with some gems. Well, my little bag of gems. We're going to put some on the flag side now. And you can kind of put them wherever you want. This is just kind of where it led me in the moment. Because I didn't do it this way the first time, but you can do all sorts of different things, and you can put different kinds of gems and colors or shapes, sizes, whatever you want to do. And the nice thing about this glue too is it dries pretty quickly after it's on. So like I say, the gems normally stick almost instantly. And the thing I found is anything that has a flat side to it is a lot easier to do or to get to stick. Anything that's super round is a pain in the bootay. Oh my gosh. So that's what I've learned anyway. Spirit gum would probably work for this too, but this is just the quickest and easiest that I had. Okay, so that is a very quick rundown. I went in, I added some pearls to give it a little bit more white, because it is red, white, and blue. I kind of fudged up my lips, but we just used Wet n Wild Catsuit, which I will show you. Wet n Wild Catsuit. This is in the color Missy and Fierce. You can do pretty much any color you want on your lips. I think the first time I did it, I used red and blue. I used blue on the outside. And then just to get a little bit of extra sparkle and shine, I put on, this is called Metal Quartz by Profusion. It's kind of like a matte gloss. I'll show you here. I just kind of put that right in the middle part and blended that around a little bit just to give it a little bit extra pop, you know, since it's 4th of July, we want to be popping. So, and then if you want, you can put some of those white pearls over here, or you can do the star stickers like I was talking about. Use them like a decal, put them on first and then blot on your colors and then take them off. But that gives you kind of a fun, fireworky 4th of July, ringing in independence kind of look. So there you go. That gives you a pretty good idea of how to do that. You definitely can play around with the colors or the design. But yeah, that is my 4th of July look for you. And I hope you enjoyed. If you have any other questions at all, make sure you put them in my comment section. If you like what I do, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for future looks. Thank you again and enjoy your 4th of July.